I'm Howard Garrett, and today we're going to talk about growing an oak tree from seed, from the acorn. It's very simple. We'll also talk about growing other plants from seed. The procedure is about the same, and it's very simple. First of all, we need to talk about pots and potting soils. First of all, it's okay to use old pots that are dirty. I don't have a big problem with that at all if you're using an organic program. If you want to clean them, though, don't use bleach like a lot of people recommend. Use hydrogen peroxide. And then the potting soils, you have basically two choices, although any will work with this planting technique. This is a typical potting soil that you can find in the garden centers and feed stores that contains peat moss, bark, and perlite. That's the white particle there. What I like better, that's okay, especially if you live in the north near peat moss bogs. I don't like shipping things across the country any more than you have to. The potting soil that I prefer is a mixture of expanded shale, that's the large particles you see, coconut fiber, which actually comes from the coconut palm trees, and the third ingredient is compost, which is alive with microorganisms. This potting soil is very simple, and you can basically grow any plant in it. This potting soil can be made at home by mixing the ingredients a third each, very simple formula, or it can be bought commercially. It's not as easy to find as the peat moss based potting soils. The next step is to test the seeds, the acorns. And the first step is just to visually see which ones are bad, have been eaten by squirrels or have insect damage. And then the next step is to simply dump them in water. And an interesting thing happens. The ones that are definitely no good will float, and they can be removed. The ones that sink are the ones that should be the most viable and grow the best oak trees. Don't waste your time planting the ones that you know are just not going to be viable. The next step is to remove the caps. They should come off fairly easily. In fact, in some cases they will have already fallen off the acorns. There are two ways to plant the seed, the acorns. First of all, lay them on their side, push them all the way in to where they're at a depth about length of the seed. The other way, which can be more fun, especially if kids are involved, is to countersink the acorns so that only about half of the acorn is in the soil, and you can still see it. That way, the germinating seed, you can see it crack open, you can see the whole process begin, and it's a real learning experience for children. Final step is to water the seed in. The soil was already moist in this case. Just keep the soil moist, and in about 2 weeks, if you've put the container or the flat, whatever you used, in a sunny place, the seed will germinate in about 2 weeks. Well, that's how to plant seed the easy way. I hope you give it a try. You'll enjoy it. I'm Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor. See you next time. For more information on my organic program, visit our website at yourhouseandhome.tv.
You'll want to stay tuned. It's new, it's exciting, and it's coming up next on Your House and Home.